And I had forgotten to take my medicine in the afternoon 2 days in a row and nearly died.
Isn't that awful, ladies and gentlemen?
We were talking about, two of my friends and I went to a hockey game the other night, and we should have gone in an ambulance because everybody was about
He's gotten so bad off he can't even watch sports anymore, much less participate.
Well, I'd forgotten the diuretic 2 days in a row.
Something right funny with my hair, but you know, I don't dare touch it.
No.
Because hair lady will just go gaga.
Yes.
What are we doing today?
I don't know. I just saw a movie. I was watching Easter Parade on TV, and Jules Munchin. You remember Jules Munchin?
Yeah.
Well, was doing a mimed version of a salad, and I thought about the hair lady because as he got through, he tossed his hair with his hands and proceeded to go on with the salad. I thought, well, too bad the hair lady wasn't watching.
By the way, the postman has been here and left us a gigantic box which we're supposed to open at the beginning of the program. We have a surprise.
Well, good.
And I don't know what it is. I don't have any idea what it is. I'm chopping onions because I need to. And I'm boiling some potatoes, some white potatoes, in case you want to know what I'm doing.
Oh, it's full of...
Uh-oh, what is it? What is it?
Dear Laban, Larry, and Doris, I promised Miss Carol something yesterday that will make a task easier on you two, knowing from past reruns, you two always pick on Doris over stuff she brought in from home, so your show has run for 17 years. I hope this little contribution will help y'all for the next 17 years, and Doris can pick up her dollies and dishes and, oh, my wrong story, pick up on her can opener, leave it at home. Keep up the good show, guys. I'm not going to write some irate vegetarian letter up here in Pennsylvania.
Good.
Me and Dot, my mom of 77 years, just grab whatever's on sale and cook it. Keep up the good fun. You two don't need a laugh track. Keep the crew. Sincerely, the chief cook in Pennsylvania, Satellite Steve Johnson of Westchester. P.S. Hope you see some new shows soon.
What's in there?
I don't know.
Looks like a lot of peanuts to me.
I hate these.
Oh, I hope it's a new refrigerator. My refrigerator freezer went out yesterday, ruined everything in the house.
Oh, look at this.
What have we got?
I can't hear. Can you?
I'm holding this pan because it's about to burn.
All right. Well, it's a new electric can opener. Well,
thank you very much.
Well,
we appreciate
Satellite
it.
Steve, thanks.
Yes, indeed.
Let's get the witch in here. We got a lot to do.
Right now. Right on cue. The witch is always on cue.
She had a nice little arc on that thing today. All right, let's see.
What's it say, Johnson?
I don't know.
I read the last one. You can have the pleasure.
Dear L&L, that was a confectionery down on 5th Street.
That's
I remember. I work in the romance novel division of our local library. We don't have many people reading this trash anymore, so I really don't have much to do. My wife says I'm just frittering away my time, which reminds me, do you have a recipe for fritters?
I kind of figured that.
I've been watching for years and don't recall that you've ever done a fritter. My grandmother used to do them before she got locked up. Marvin, this one is hyphenated names.
Oh, no.
Canola oil of Skillet, Texas.
That was a pretty slick family, as I recall.
They were.
Hey, listen, this is going to burn if I don't get something in it. I got to take 3 white onions.
Well, what are you doing?
Well, let me start at the beginning. Let me start at the beginning. I've had a tough day. I'm going to do potato cakes, which is a kind of fritter. Okay? But this is an unusual potato cake in that usually potato cakes are made from leftover mashed potatoes. The whole staff has broken out in some kind of colds.
In a spring flu.
So anyway, this one is made from scratch with the potatoes freshly done. And I forgot to do them ahead of time, so I had to nuke them. But pretend like I boiled them. Here they are in the hot boiling water. Oh, that is so hot I can hardly stand it one time, baby.
It looks like
over
they're mushy.
here, I have taken I have slow cooked so that it gets beautiful. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? Johnson does bacon that gorgeous all the time, and the secret is you got to do it very slowly.
And that's why I have the worst heart in town.
And you see that? And you got to get it so it crumbles. It's got to be crumbly because we've got to crumble that up and put it in this recipe. Then you take the stuff, what do they call that, from the bacon grease. I've lost the ability to form words. And you leave that on there, and you take 3 white onions and just chop them all up, and you go on ahead and fry the onions right in the bacon grease. So that'll be the next thing that goes in there. That's all for now.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm doing applesauce corn fritters that were sent in by Jim and Deborah Weiss, I think it is. Let me put my...
Did you say Rice?
Weiss. You know them, Jim? Of Woodbury, New Jersey.
Oh, he used to
Jim
go
and
with
Deborah
them.
Weiss. All
He
right,
used to have them down all the time.
They're right. I had forgotten them. All right. This is a strange recipe because it's another one of those that somebody sent in with an ingredient, namely applesauce, and no quantity. So I'm not going to put it in till the end so that we can figure out how much we need then. So
by the way, ladies and gentlemen,
2 eggs.
I'm crumbling the bacon with my bare hands. Thank you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Is that one of the better crumbles you've seen in a long time? Crumbling the bacon with my bare hands. There we go. It's all crumbled. Go ahead, Johnson.
Thank you so much. I've got my 2 eggs in here, and I'm going to whip them up so that they incorporate correctly in a little bit.
So the what?
Incorporate.
Oh.
You know, like when you go into business. All right, now I'm going to add to that 1½ cups of your common ordinary flour. Oops.
I told you never to use the word common on this show again.
Well, I don't know why not.
It comes a little too close to home.
All right, 1½ cups. These cups are hard to measure in because they're flat, you know.
Let me know when I can do something.
Well, just
take your time.
Give me a minute here. And 2 tablespoons of honey or sugar, and I'm going to use honey because I had some. You know, the honey is getting kind of expensive since the bees got that tracheal disease and all croaked. And 2 teaspoons
I'm not feeling
of
so good
baking
myself.
powder. I know. You don't look so hot either. Tell me, I'm worried about
I
it.
didn't get to do my hair before I went on, but, well hair lady will cause a problem if I even touch it.
All right, now
don't
I'm
dare
going
touch
to
it.
mix this up into a batter while you're diddling around with the onions.
Okay.
So you go ahead then.
Well, the onions are diddling themselves here. They're right there in the pan, and they're just frying away, and they're getting real pretty. Now, what we have here are some potatoes. And what I got to do at this point, they're all boiled. And what I have, these are just ordinary white potatoes. And what I got to do is take their little jackets off of them. Boy, these are sure crummy-looking potatoes. You know, it's been a couple of years now we've had some bad potatoes and bad onions. I don't understand what that's all about. This is an unusual recipe in that not only does it call for you to mash the potatoes, it calls for you to mash them with your bare hands. I don't know. I've never seen a recipe like this, but it looks interesting, and we're going to give it a try. You know, we're adventurous people here on Cookin' Cheap. Look how
Those
green.
potatoes, yeah, they've been exposed to the light.
Well, I don't know. I just bought them today. How much light could they have had?
Well, they could have lain in the grocery store if you went to that one I'm thinking you went to. They could have laid there.
ran into the Cook sisters.
Oh, were they in
Those 2
Oh,
sisters,
yes.
the real Cook sisters. There is a couple of sisters here in town. There is a couple.
There are some sisters in the town.
2 gals, and their names are Cook. I forget what their first names are.
Labonia and Jerusha.
Well, that's easy for you to say. Well, that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to peel these things, and then we're going to get to the fun part where I get in here with my hands and smash them all up.
All right.
Go ahead, Johnson.
This is 25 ounces of, I'm not going to use it all, of applesauce, but you obviously need it because this batter will never work for a fritter if you don't put a lot of applesauce in. So
you know, even the eyes don't look right on these potatoes. They're sort of crossed.
I
There's
guarantee
something
you,
wrong with these potatoes. Their eyes don't
they
even
have
look
just
right.
laid there.
Oh, Lord. Well, I have done the best I can,
I know
ladies and
you
gentlemen.
have.
You know, when you go to a store, is it asking too much, even a low-down store like the one I go to, is it asking too much to have decent, but I mean, look at those things.
Well,
if you're seeing green when you're seeing these, do not adjust your set because they really are green.
My late Aunt Rowena before...
She was green, I remember.
Oh, no, not until later.
Before she was a brown, she was a green. I'll
No,
never
but
forget.
anyway, she insisted that I go to that particular store to buy all her groceries. Mm-hmm. And I just hated to go because nobody else went. She was supporting that store.
Well, I go there because it's convenient.
Yes, but everything they've got's been on the shelf for 3 years. You know, it's kind of scary when you go in there in 1997 and see stuff that was overdue in 1983.
Well, Johnson, you know, you've sort of gone over a little yourself, but we still like you. We still have you around.
All right, now I've used about a cup or a cup and a half of applesauce in here. Is this stuff hot yet? Oh, wait a minute, I got to put the corn in. What?
He's ignoring me. I got a lot of laughs on that.
Well,
Doris
I know,
especially.
but you're paid plaque. And Doris just shortchanged me today. I'll never get over
Oh,
it.
Lord. Just because she's not kowtowing to your every need when you get here.
She just left me out completely because she saw how disturbed you were when you got here.
Well, my refrigerator died. Oh, dear, I better stop pouring water in there.
Woo! Under it.
Oh, it's in there, but boy, it's full.
Well, I've got a can of corn that is the crispy kind that doesn't have a lot of water in it. But I'll see. Let me see. Does it have any water? It did have some water in it, but not a whole lot. And I'm just going to let it drain over here into the sink and let it grow down there with everything else that's growing. And I'm going to add this can of corn to the applesauce fritter mix. Ugh. Let's see if I can find a towel. Oh. And we're going to mix all of this around, and pretty soon our applesauce corn fritter mix will be ready, and I can start frittering away my time.
Well, it certainly is lovely. Can I do something now?
I guess you can.
Okay. Next, you take both of your hands and you start squishing. This, it's what it says. It says leave lots of lumps. It says boil potatoes till done, run in cold water until you know peel potatoes, mash with your hands, leaving a few lumps. How could you not leave a few lumps if you're doing it with your hands? Do you suppose they mean take your hands and use one of those squishy things on it? But it doesn't say that. It says mash with your hands. Okay, leaving a few lumps. Here's a few lumps for you.
I'll give you
This
a few
is
lumps.
just fun. And you know what? I sort of, you know, it's sort of, I'm enjoying it. It's nice and warm. It really is. Here's one for Johnson. Here's one for Johnson's family. Here's one for Doris. Hey, you. You know, that's why we didn't give her a microphone. It wasn't the station couldn't afford one. It's just we didn't want to hear blathering in the distance. Okay, now, the next thing you do is add an egg to this mixture. Add your bacon. I mean, not your bacon. Well, we'll do that.
Add your bacon.
The onions go in there. And also the little bacon things, crumblies, are going to go in there. We'll do that in a couple of minutes. I shouldn't be scratching this thing around on this. I know I'm going to get letters. I don't care about your letters. Anyway, this, I do care about your letters. I'm only joking. Those go in there.
See, that's why so many people write in and complain about Larry being so mean.
Well, I
when
am
he
mean.
says things
I'm just
like
a
that.
naturally mean human being.
Mean old Mr. Bly.
All right. Go ahead, Johnson. Try to fill a little time there if you don't mind.
Oh, I do mind. I have put the fritters into the hot oil.
Ooh, they're pretty.
And
Look at that.
let me see.
Uh-oh.
And when they're brown on one side, just like any other thing you would cook, like a pancake. Well, if I can get this one up in there.
Salt, pepper. Let me know when I can do something.
All right.
There's no end to this. Uh-oh.
Oh, I don't have the right technique. Okay, there, now I've got my fritters turned. You can do whatever it is you have to do.
Well, I'm going to have to heat up some oil here at this point, just some regular oil. So it says lots of oil. That's plenty of oil in my opinion. It says lots of oil. Now we need to add salt, half teaspoon of salt, half teaspoon of pepper, some breadcrumbs. How many breadcrumbs?
No, don't put them in there.
Don't put them in where?
Breadcrumbs with salt and pepper go in there.
Some of the breadcrumbs go in here, and some of the breadcrumbs, a half a cup of the breadcrumbs go in there, and a cup of the breadcrumbs go by themselves. Doris is a little
This
nervous.
comes of Larry not doing his homework because he was upset.
No,
He'd been out of town.
I believe I just told her how
Yeah, I
this
know.
recipe goes.
But it was Larry's fault. I know it was.
Okay, the next thing you put in there is a teaspoon of all seasoning. And I'm having to do this by hand, literally, because I don't have any measuring devices. I guess there's been a shortage of those here on the set.
Every time I put them out, you never use them.
Listen to her. There's a microphone. Talk into it. Put some of those in there. Now, you get to mix all of this. I'm not mixing it by hand. You people can do whatever you want to do. This is it for me. I've had it with this. I'm just going to mix it with this. And make sure that gets well distributed while you're heating up your oil. And in a couple of seconds, we'll put some flour and some more breadcrumbs, as the recipe calls for, into a separate bowl where we're going to dredge the stuff before we fry them. Maybe I should get into this with my hands, but you know, those onions are hot, and so is that bacon. I don't want to hurt myself. Doris, do you want me to hurt myself?
I really want it.
I'll swear it is a mean bunch, the whole bunch down here. It's a mean bunch of people. I'm actually in a pretty good mood considering my refrigerator freezer died, and I killed everything there while I was up in Washington, D.C. It's only about 16 years old.
He's probably been mistreating it, too.
Well, now,
like us.
now, wait a minute. Now, everybody's laughing at me. Now, what is the life of a refrigerator? Does anybody know? What is the average life of a refrigerator freezer?
I don't know.
12.5.
Well, whoops. Okay,
Next one is going to have to be expelled from school.
The next thing you have to do now is mix a cup of flour and a cup of breadcrumbs together, because that's what we're going to put this thing into before we fry it, okay? So there we go. That's 1 and 1. And what? Do I what? She's about to wear me out, ladies and gentlemen. She keeps mumbling. I don't know what that's all about. She keeps mumbling. Okay, so now you make these into little patties. You do, just like that. And dredge them through there, and you will put them in your hot oil.
Which isn't all that hot.
Well, it should be. It's been on there for 10 minutes. Well, it's starting. Should be a little hotter than that because you don't want it to absorb grease. So anyway, just do that until you get it all done. That's just real pretty. Put some of that in there. Isn't that pretty? This woman seems to know. Who is this person? Esther Patterson. Didn't she used to make
Lady
swimming
Esther.
pools?
No, it was Lady Esther Cream.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Esther is from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Mighty fine place, a real bell-ringing town. We love them up there. They're a great bunch of people. And Johnson, it's good to see you laugh, because you've just been a little on the grumpy side. I'm just so relieved that he's laughing again. How's your stuff coming over there? What are you making?
Applesauce corn fritters, and they've been done for hours.
They look like they've been done for hours.
Well, while you're just
Well, look at
frittering
this.
away
This
our
makes...
time.
Oh, well, yeah, go on ahead.
All right, let me
go on ahead.
read the ingredients. You need about a cup and a half of applesauce, a cup and a half of flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar or honey, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, optional, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 eggs, and 1 can of kernel corn.
I'm going to give mine, too, if you don't mind.
Go right
Do you
ahead.
mind?
No, I don't
But
mind.
if you don't mind,
I
give
don't
mine.
care.
All right. Potato cakes. These are most unusual potato cakes, but I believe they're going to be real pretty, and they're frying away right now, even as we speak. 4 white potatoes, 3 yellow onions, 6 pieces of bacon, an egg, half cup of breadcrumbs that goes into the mixture. Don't be silly like Doris and think that it all gets dumped into a separate bowl because she sillily didn't read the recipe. A teaspoon of all-purpose seasoning, which I had to look up, and poor Doris had to go and find. She actually found something called all-purpose seasoning. It exists. A half teaspoon of black pepper, half teaspoon of salt. And then you dredge it in a cup of flour and a cup of breadcrumbs. And you have yourself some lovely potato cakes, and I'm frying them right now, and I think they're going to be just right. I guess, oh, look at that, they're getting brown. You know what?
What?
This stuff is working. I knew all along this program was going to come off okay. Look at that. They're looking absolutely beautiful. I wish I had a camera so I could take a picture of it. Doris is... Oh. is here, but you know what?
What?
I don't think we'll bring Doris in. Let's bring the Cook sisters in. I'd rather see the Cook sisters than Doris, because the Cook sisters have not mouthed off to me one time today. Doris, on the other hand, has just been terrible. We love her, though. Here they are.
Oh, hey, yeah, what's your name? Sister. Did you know that when you're unplugging something from a wall socket, pull it out by the plug and not by the wire? You might get hold of something too hot to handle.
Oh, I'm Sister Cook.
And I'm tickled. And, and we're the Cook sisters.
Let me see if I can take a picture.
Hey, the very lovely Doris has appeared magically on the set.
They told me to be fast. Everybody, look at the sweater. New sweater from Peru. My
Peru?
Pauline.
Peru.
You and the Incas.
Right, see?
Personal
See?
friends.
New
She knew
sweater,
him
guys.
well. She was their Sunday school teacher.
Right. From baby alpacas. And if you want good potatoes, ride up the street where you live to a little stand and buy a 100-pound bag in the fall. And you'll be very good. He told me not to do this, but I am. Okay, 2 cups. I had to do zucchini cakes. And it's 2 cups of grated zucchini, 1 cup Italian-flavored breadcrumbs, 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons finely grated onion, 1 teaspoon Old Bay seasoning, 1 tablespoon mayonnaise, and oil for frying. It said to drain them real good, but don't. I did it, and they were horrible last night. So to leave a little moisture left in the zucchini squash.
Who was horrible
It'd be
last
better.
night, Harold?
The zucchinis,
Oh,
these
okay.
things were bad because I drained them too much. But at lunchtime they were good.
You want to know something, Doris?
What?
I'm a little drained myself. Goodbye. Okay, now what we got to do is we got to take these off because they've had time to brown. I want you to look at these. These are beautiful. Look at that. Perfect. This person knows what this person is doing. They are really pretty. Now, if they just would taste decent, that would...
Well, I'll be the judge of that.
I was afraid he was going to be the judge of that. There's always a judge of something. Try and stay with me. Work with me, Jim. Work with me. Okay. Here we go. Let me give you one of these big old potato cakes. Oh, just
I
old.
think I could use that for a sinker when I go fishing.
Well, I did make them right big, I have to admit. You know, I'm so tired, I'm not hungry.
Where are the zucchini cakes?
Well, yeah, what happened to
They're
them
not
zucchini
very good,
cakes?
are they?
Oh, she's nuking them.
she's
nuking them, even as we speak.
It's still cold, but...
Oh, you're just trying to hurt Mr. Judge. What's wrong?
dropped mine right off the floor.
Terrible. And you know, my hair hadn't gotten any better looking during this 30 minutes. Let me try your... Is this going to cauterize my mouth?
They're actually really good.
Yeah,
They
I like
are.
those. I think they're real good.
It's amazing.
How's my cake du potage?
Well, I'm afraid it's so fiery hot that it'll hurt me, but let me try.
Oh, is it really?
So let's see.
Well, no, this is TV, Laban. Everything's fake. Woman knows what she's doing, does? Isn't that incredible? I have never
the
made...
potato cakes are really good.
I have never made a potato cake up, I mean, right then and there, not from the previous day's mashed potatoes. This is really interesting. I like this.
Oh, and Doris's have got a real good flavor. They'd be delicious if they were hot.
Hey, it's too bad you're just kind of limpid things. Limp and cold.
Doris, they're good.
You know, they are. Doris is always a great cook. She really is. She's great. Well, you know, the wonderful thing is we have someone here in the studio from one of these other shows that's produced here, and I think he thought this was all fake. Now he's not discovered we really can cook. We really do know what we're doing.
And we know where we've been. All right, let's see. That's good.
Yes, indeed. Well, it's another fabulous show.
Actually, they're
This was
delicious.
good enough to be a special. What?
Yeah,
We'd have just had the June Taylor dancers.
I know.
It would have been so much better.
and an orchestra. We need music.
But you know, none of them get their legs up
I
anymore. They've gotten so old they can't kick anymore. I always loved the June Taylor dancers.
They were wonderful.
And you know, we have the camera up there, so they could have got on the floor and done all
After
those.
Doris retired from the Incas, that's where
true.
she went.
She became a June Taylor dancer.
Why did you tell
But anyway,
We gotta go.
we got to go. And aren't you glad we got to go, ladies and gentlemen? Goodbye. So long, and get out.